Point out that Haley has done a wonderful job at researching this subject, and I think she has done a great job at presenting this argument. I think also that the advocates of gun control have a very noble cause at reducing deaths and saving lives. I just disagree with the means by which they're going about it. And today I want to go about with start with the philosophical reasons for why we should be permitted to have weapons. Government governs best when it has minimal influence on on society and its citizens, when it respects humans as who they are in God's eyes and makes laws that reflect their identity. Government will never be effective when people are considered masses, a group of objects that are a liability to the country that they are a part of. The rights of humans are most respected in countries with less government power. Examples of this are medieval Europe, where they abolished slavery, and America, where for the first time in human history, a country's founding document acknowledges the God-given rights in every human being. The three basic rights that all humans have are fundamental for the safety of one's well-being, namely the rights of life, liberty, and property, as summarized by John Locke in his Second Treatise of Government. The right to property ensures we have a claim to anything that we possess, and no one on earth can take what is ours from us under the name of justice. The right to life allows people to defend their lives from those who try to take it. If humans were to lack the right to life, then Jesus' command for Christians to give up their lives for one another becomes obsolete, because if the life we have is not ours to do with, then it isn't a sacrifice to lose it for another. In other words, if I spend all of Bob's money for Bill, I'm not making a sacrifice for Bill. Armed citizens, able to defend themselves from danger, are a threat to any kind of movement to increase government power. This is why we have the Second Amendment. Not so we can hunt, not so we can pop a shot at a tin can, and not just so we can protect our families from intruders. The Second Amendment exists for the purpose of keeping safe the citizens' right to freedom. History shows that major military world powers have been intimidated by a country's armed citizenry. Two fine examples are the Japanese and the Germans in World War II. Japanese military leaders were against ground invasion of mainland US because, quote, there would be an armed American behind every blade of grass. Nazi Germany avoided Switzerland because every citizen is issued military-grade weapons. Now, if major world powers are fearful of a nation's well-versed and armed citizens, how much more will that nation's government recognize the danger in attempting an overreach of government authority? Again, the advocates of gun control have a very noble cause, but I just disagree with the means by which they are going about it. Now, 4 basic evaluations can be done of the gun control advocate's argument, and I will go through these. The first is, you should evaluate whether gun crimes and mass murders are actually out of control. Second, one should question if no gun crime is even possible. Thirdly, it should be evaluated whether the solutions proposed are effective, historically, theoretically, and philosophically. The fourth, it should be asked that if the means proposed by advocates of gun control are effective at eliminating or even reducing crime, might there be unintended consequences? And now, to these 4, I have my replies to them with evidence. The first, gun crimes are actually at a low in America compared to the last few centuries. Secondly, crime will never be completely eliminated. Humanity is flawed from birth, and it can never cure itself without Christ. Thirdly, the solutions proposed by gun control advocates historically have never worked. Piers Morgan claims that British gun control has dramatically decreased gun crimes in Great Britain. That is true. However, every other crime has increased, and notably murders by means other than guns. This is true as well for Chicago, New York, and Washington, D.C. According to the FBI, Chicago just passed New York City just over a month ago as the murder capital of the country. And these 2 cities are known as the cities with the most gun control laws in the U.S. Where was I? Obviously, there must be some explanation for why this is, and I believe it is because free people defend themselves better than the government can administer to a dependent people. According to Professor Gary Kleck, PhD from the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice at Florida State University, gun owners stop 2.5 million crimes per year. So it should be asked, if we got rid of guns, we might save many lives from gun deaths, but there might be millions and millions more crimes committed because no one's there to stop them. Fourthly, supposing gun control was effective and crimes dropped dramatically, there would still be the issue of government officials misusing the control they have over the people. One merely has to look at our current administration and what they have done in the Fast and Furious, the multitude of IRS scandals, and the AP phone records, the James Rosen case, the list goes on, and see that trusting them would be foolishness. Putting our trust, the safety of our freedom, into the hands of government bureaucrats would be the same as putting ourselves into the blockhouses of communist Russia. And so it ought to be asked, is death the problem or are guns the problem? Judging from the current success rating of gun control across the country and the world, more deaths have resulted from the attempts of gun restriction than have been prevented. And as far as just background checks, I would like to leave you with this quote. "This year will go down in history. For the first time, a civilized nation has full gun registration. Our streets will be safer, our police more efficient, and the world will follow our lead into the future." That was Adolf Hitler from 1935. Thank you.